Deadpool and Wolverine is finally out this weekend, and I know what you're all thinking. Did they finally save the MCU?
I am Marvel Jesus.
Welcome to Gavin Goes to the Movies. I'm Gavin, let's talk movies. Today we're going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, and I just want to get this out of the way. The movie is a ton of fun. It turned out to be everything that I wanted going into it. And of course the movie's hilarious, just like the last two Deadpools, but the last two was a lot of action and humor and not much else. And that's where Hugh Jackman comes into this. Now that he's in the movie, he's able to bring a lot of depth and a lot of emotion to the movie that we didn't get in the last two. It helps balance out a lot of the humor. Hugh Jackman was able to bring a lot of acting skills over from Logan for a lot of different scenes in Deadpool and Wolverine, and they were incredible. You really get a sense of what he's going through, a lot of pain from his past, but they don't really actually tell you what's going on until later on in the movie. Having that kind of Wolverine in this movie is the perfect complement to what Deadpool brings, which is the same from the last two, which isn't a bad thing. If you go see this movie with tons of knowledge about the properties that Fox owned from Marvel for a little bit, plus all the headlines that the MCU have been in lately, and if you've seen a superhero movie in the last 20 years, you're gonna have the best experience possible. But if you don't know anything about these characters, the Fox deal, the MCU as a whole, you'll still be fine. And not just fine, but you're really gonna enjoy it. But not to the level that they intended. Now this movie is clearly in the MCU, they make a few points to show you that, but it still feels like a standalone movie, and that's one of its strengths. It felt really contained, but it also included a lot. It wasn't bogged down by whatever the MCU has been trying to set up, it just focuses on Deadpool and Wolverine and their goals. Now if you've seen some of the trailers, you're gonna be wondering, why is Marvel ruining all the surprises? I'm here to tell you they have not even started to. And I really hope that nothing is spoiled for you before you get to see the movie, because they really go for it. This is what the multiverse of madness should have been. A few weeks ago I made a video talking about, who has the brighter future, Marvel or DC. I talk about how Marvel is lacking in quality, consistency, and even the development process is an absolute mess. And one of the coolest things about Deadpool and Wolverine is that they acknowledge it and they make fun of it. They are very self-aware of all these problems that I've had and a lot of people have with the MCU right now, and they really let you know that they're listening. Now does that mean that everything's gonna get fixed? Absolutely not, but it is nice to know that they're listening. In the MCU, phases 1 through 3 just all felt like an event, right? Every single movie, not just the big, huge, team up movies of the Avengers, every single movie felt like an event. And I really haven't felt that since Endgame. Okay, maybe No Way Home, but this is special. The director Shawn Levy and his fight choreographers, top tier. I need more. The fight scenes were awesome. I'm serious, they were so well done. Whether it's normal speed, you can tell what's going on. They had slow motion effects. They had a continuous shot that was amazing. But the point is, whatever they ended up doing with the action scenes, you were able to soak it up and really take it in, and there was a lot to take in. There were a few scenes in this that reminded me of a Terrifier movie. Okay, maybe not that bad, but this really was pushing rated R. And I just had to give a big shout out to the opening scene because it felt like it was made for me. With the music choice, with how creative Shawn Levy got with what he wanted Deadpool to do, it was just perfect.
It was perfect. Perfect.
I mean, if that scene doesn't put a smile on your face, I really don't know what will. I want to rewatch the movie for a lot of reasons, and that's one of them. Reynolds and Hugh Jackman absolutely kill it whenever they're on screen together, whether they're fighting or just some banter going back and forth. It's a lot of fun. It kind of reminded me of the first Avengers movie. Whenever they're talking to each other, they don't like each other, they don't respect each other, they don't know each other, and that's what makes the dialogue so perfect. You see all these different personalities just clashing, and that's kind of what we get in this. Also, it doesn't feel like a Deadpool movie with Wolverine or a Wolverine movie with Deadpool. They both get a lot of time to shine on their own, but then they also get a lot of great moments together. And by doing that, you get to see them grow individually, but also their relationship together. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows with this movie. The story is kind of forgettable. Now, the things that happen in the movie are very memorable, and I think a lot of people are going to be talking about those for years to come. It's just that how things happen and why things happen, not that deep or complex. The actual plot mechanics are what I'm talking about. That's where this movie suffers. So of course this movie needs this big huge fight scene at the end, and I'm glad it's there because it looks awesome and it was a lot of fun. It just kind of came out of nowhere and it didn't really make a lot of sense. I understand that we need something to get us from A to B in these kind of movies, but I mean, come on. And that's one of the reasons I'm kind of out on these multiverse live action movies. They just aren't written that great. The fan service is nice and fun, and don't get me wrong, I really am glad that it's there. But when you zoom out and actually examine these kind of movies, there just really isn't much there as far as the plot goes. And also the villain, Cassandra Nova, she has really cool powers. She's very intimidating because of those powers. She just isn't that memorable. No one's gonna be talking about this villain in particular years from now. She's no Thanos, she's no Killmonger, she's just there. Now, Deadpool and Wolverine was tasked with saving the sinking ship that was the MCU. Now, while it doesn't seem to do much as far as furthering the MCU as a whole, it's a movie that's able to balance the multiverse plot that Marvel has been hammering down on us a lot better than a lot of their other properties. Still not perfect, but it's good. While the story and villain are forgettable, there are so many scenes in this that people are going to be talking about for years, just like No Way Home. Whether that's Ryan Reynolds breaking the fourth wall, Hugh Jackman giving us a new Wolverine that's able to make us feel for him like in Logan, or the absolutely insane cameos that feel fun, and because it's not so serious of a plot, it feels earned and believable. Now, for those of us that grew up watching the X-Men movies, this is a love letter that's able to be a bit more than just fan service and elevates it a little bit higher than the other multiverse movies that the MCU has been putting out. This is an MCU experience that no fan should miss out on. Is it a perfect movie? Absolutely not. The point is to be entertained by an overall good movie. I had an absolute blast watching Deadpool and Wolverine. It reminded me of what the MCU used to be, which was a lot of fun. The movie has 2 end credit scenes, one plays during the credits, and then there's going to be one at the very end which circles back to one of the funnier jokes of the movie. Thanks for watching my video, everybody. If you saw Deadpool and Wolverine, let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and remember to subscribe to my channel for movie news, reviews, rankings, recaps, and more. Until the next video, everybody, see you later.